Welcome back to Grown Folk Talk with Patrice. I am here with my guests, Larice Shield and Tina Laws. If you have been with us all this time, you know we've had a great conversation so far, especially during breaks. So before we went to break, we talked about the fact that there's work that has to go into marriages. And I hear people sometimes saying, oh, marriage is a lot of work. Marriage is work. I don't want to have a second job or a third job. I don't mind putting in the work, but I don't want it to be this is work. I don't want it to stress me out. I want to put in the work in my marriage to make it, not even to make it work. I don't even like that term, to make it work, but to keep it thriving.
Right.
So we all have work to do.
And for me, it's only stressful if it's one person working and the other one isn't.
That's right. They're not,
so
if everybody's not pulling their weight.
Everyone's not pulling their weight.
Mm-hmm.
And so what does work look like?
What does work
Work
look
looks like bringing this stuff, putting it on the table and saying, okay, this is what's not working here.
Communication. We talked about truth being one.
Yes.
Communication for me will probably be two.
Bringing the baggage from prior relationships, prior life, into the marriage.
So let me stop you there, Loree, because we can say they better leave that baggage where it was. No, it's not as easy as just saying, okay, I'm in a new relationship or a new marriage now, let me leave that baggage. We can't just leave packed baggage. You go on a trip, you take empty bags. If you're a Bermudian, we take empty bags because we want to buy some more stuff. We can imagine taking that bag that you brought back from the last trip on the next trip with you, and then you're expected to function. You can't. So you might have to bring the baggage into the marriage or into the relationship before marriage and unpack it together.
Yes. If you're willing to do that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because some people's like, well, nothing's wrong with me. I'm okay. So
it's not me.
It's not me.
It was her or it was him.
Right. But they start pointing the fingers at everybody but them, right? And so it's getting to a space where to say, hey, I need to take a good look at me.
Right.
What I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
What are some of my habits that keep replaying that are not serving me, not serving us?
Yes.
And how can I do something differently?
Right.
And whether that means going to a counselor, whether that means having that self-talk. I talk to myself a lot.
Oh, so do I.
I talk to myself
and call myself by name.
And on one occasion, I remember being upset with my husband and how he responded to me with something. And I remember calling his best friend. And I said, help me understand. This was the scenario. Help me understand what happened here.
Okay.
And how I can best respond to him. Because who knows him better than his best friend since 3 years old, right? And he's not going to lie to you. And he came from a perspective. And I was like, okay, thanks for that, because that helped me to see a different
You got it.
Right?
It clicked.
Right? So that I didn't go in there like a bull in a china shop, ready to mash everything at one time. Right?
Because you could have.
Easy. But I'm trying to do things differently.
But that's work. That's the work we're talking about.
Because that's about
You're
me.
putting in the work.
That's about me and how I respond. Because I know if I respond like the bull, then guess what? It's coming out like the bull as well,
absolutely.
right?
And the whole china shop be messed up. Right.
But let's look at it from another point of view. Why not look at it as an investment? One of the things I often say to my clients is this is an investment.
Yes.
So the same way you want to save to purchase a home, or you want to save to take that elaborate trip next year, or you want to save to get a new pair of shoes or hat, whatever it is that you desire, or one of those gadgets, let's invest in our marriage or dating phase or whatever phase you're in your relationship, right? So let's not invest. So let's not invest in those things that we think. So let's invest in our communication. Let's invest in what we think.
How does that look like? How does that look?
It looks similar to what Larice said, but it looks like this. When you invest, whatever you put in, you're sure to get out. So you have to know first, what is it that I want in this relationship? What do I want my marriage to look like? Right. Do I want to be grumpy every 5 minutes? Do I want to be arguing? Do I want to be turned into a bull? Do I want to, or do I want to be like me? I love a good laugh. But do I want to be able to end in a good laughter? Do I want to grow and next year we don't have to talk because we already know each other?
Right.
Do I want to know when I go into a room, we understand each other? You know that if somebody talks to you in a certain way, my husband knows me. So I'm all about let's talk and laugh with everybody.
Right.
But the minute somebody oversteps, I don't have to talk. Let me tell you why. Because my husband knows me. Right. So he knows I'll say whatever it is that has to be said. And vice versa.
Right.
I know him. But that's because we invested. I invested in who are you? What are your past
So your
experiences?
investment is
What
not
do
just
you
money.
expect?
Right.
It's
No,
time
investment
and
is
your
everything.
Okay.
Everything.
But what
everything.
happens when you are the person that is investing and the
And the other
other
one is
person
not.
is just receiving and
Yeah,
taking?
but I think
and we have to recognize that we can be investing in someone,
Right.
and in a
And it's not
relationship,
reciprocal.
but it's not reciprocal.
But I
because
think
the
that's
person
our
is just taking.
responsibility when we're dating or in a marriage. And for many, okay, I've been married for a lot of years, and there are people that's just dating and they're just 7 years, right? So it's still investing. So it's both are you coming together.
But the investment has to continue over throughout.
But it takes
the duration,
both
right?
couples
By both
investment,
people.
right?
Yes,
So
yes, absolutely.
The idea should be your husband, you and your husband, you and your dating partner know this is the expectation when we date. Most people, when they start dating and getting involved, the first thing they say is, if you ever mess around on me, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta stop. Because guess what? People's messed around, people's had children,
Hey, we
people's done all
shouldn't be
sorts of
saying
things.
that.
I'm being honest. People's done all those
We shouldn't be saying
I'm
that.
sorry, that's a boundary for me.
Absolutely.
That's a
But
boundary.
guess what?
Exactly. So
But guess what? People
that's
do
me.
that and they're still working their relationships out. So what were their investments? What were their key points on? We need to have a good communication. We need to be each other's best friend. We need to, whatever that thing is. For me, it's something different for you and for you.
Got
but
that
we
right.
need to, as time, each year you should sit and invest in your marriage.
Right,
in
and
your
I get that, but
relationship.
And
I'm
some
still
people-
stuck on the. I shouldn't be saying
Right.
if you mess
And
around
here's the
on me,
thing.
I'm going.
People do it.
That's
And
making
people do
me
it.
itch.
And some people stay because they feel they've invested in this person.
Right. I
Although
get
it's not
that.
working.
But
although it's not
exactly.
working.
And but they haven't invested in
Right.
me enough to not mess around on me.
I've been in this relationship for 20 years. It's not working, but it's cheaper to keep them.
Right.
But that's some people, yeah.
And for some people, that feels normal. Because if I don't have this person, then what do I have?
Right.
Because my
right,
life
right,
has
yes, that's
revolved
right.
around.
No matter
having
how they
this
treat me,
no
no matter how they make me
treat
feel, no matter what the
they're
outcome
not
is.
validating me.
Right.
I don't have any trust in them.
Right.
I don't communicate with
Right.
them.
They're making me feel bad every day.
However, I feel I'm a better person because I'm married.
But guess what?
Because I have relationships.
And like
But
she
guess what?
said,
This is
like
what
for
we said.
everybody else.
Yeah, but
that's
like
for
I said
everybody else.
earlier.
It's
Right.
appearances. It's the
Yeah.
aesthetics.
Yeah.
Oh, let me stay married.
Yes.
Because if not,
think
it's gonna look
think about
bad.
this. Like I said earlier, we have to invest in ourselves individually as well.
Yes,
So it's
absolutely.
not just, we come together, and some people will say we laughed about this on break. Some people say, well, I'm feeling 10% today, I'm feeling 5% today. And people really do have that conversation. But the
Right.
reality is we both have to show up full.
Yeah.
Whatever that
But
full
what if we
is.
can't? What if we can't?
then
What if
you-
we don't have the ability? I'm talking about on a certain day. I'm
Yes.
not talking about
Yeah.
the whole marriage.
But-
on a certain day, things are going wrong and you're not feeling good. And you
But that's
can't
how
show
you're
up at
supposed to
100.
know each other, have the communication, have the understanding
Yeah.
that I'm not feeling 100% today.
Right.
Whatever that percent is.
Yes.
The other partner knows they pick up where they left off.
Right.
Right.
But then that's communication. We're back to communication,
and,
right?
communication.
and communication has to be taught, whether it's taught as a child, whether it's taught as adult, and you have to be open to learning how to communicate. Because
Yes.
if I can't communicate with you, then
It's no communication, period.
you're
It's not
investing in me,
one-sided.
but I don't know how to
Right.
invest in you.
But then
Right.
that's learning each other's communication.
Yes,
Because how
absolutely.
I communicate is totally different from how my husband communicates.
Yeah.
But the end
you have to
game,
learn
but
how
the
to
result is the
communicate.
same, though. But the
Yes.
result is the same.
Yes.
And the same with us. I talk. My husband is a man of few words, but we can still communicate. Even
Right.
though he is a man of few words, he's still interested in what I
hears
have
you.
to say. He hears me,
Right.
he gets it, he puts in his part, and then we're
Right.
good.
And so communication is more than talking.
Yes.
It's also about receiving.
Yes.
And sometimes it's okay. So sometimes we communicate and it's going to be loud, right? And so
Sometimes.
yes. Let's be honest. It's not always going to be.
Sometimes,
well, baby,
but
like
listen,
this.
I think we need
That's
to
right.
talk. No, it's not always going to be like this. It's not always going to be fluffy.
Thank you. Okay. And so at those times we have to kind of take a step back and say,
Yes.
okay, well, I heard all the shouting, and but what exactly is that other individual trying to convey to me?
Yes.
How can I now take the important information
Yes.
and try to break it down?
Yes.
I know some days I've said to my husband, especially when I want to get something across to him that I think is vital for us, I would say, I'm going to mention something to you. I'm going to tell you something. I don't want you to respond.
Oh, just hear me.
I just want to be heard. I don't want you to respond at all. Now, if next week you wish to respond, that's fine. But I need you No, because a lot of
that
times
works.
we respond to be right.
To just, yes, exactly.
Okay? I
That's
don't
right.
want you to respond to
That's
be
right.
right. I want you to really receive what I'm
Yes.
about to tell you.
Yes.
Because this is important. Because what happened hurt me.
Right.
And I want you to receive how it hurt me.
Right, yes.
And where this went wrong. Because if you don't receive it and you continue it,
Then we're going to have a problem.
We're going to have a really
We're going to
big
have a problem. But that's powerful communication by saying to him, giving him your expectations, making your expectations very clear.
Yes.
Because typically, it's because sometimes with women, okay, so do I respond? Don't I? No, don't say nothing. Oh, yes, say something. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say something. So when you say, I'm going to say something to you, and I would prefer you don't respond, he's very clear. He's not trying to figure out, okay, do I say something now?
Yeah.
Do I shut up? Is she going to say, oh, what, you don't hear me? You know what I mean? Because we can be a bit complicated.
Right. And this was something that hurt me greatly. But once I got it off my chest, guess what? He hadn't responded. I felt so much better.
Really?
I felt so much better because I had.
Because you could kind of sit in it.
I spoke my truth.
Right, and
first
sit
of
in
all,
it without more commentary.
And now it's up to him to receive it.
Yes.
And act accordingly.
Yes. Got you.
Act accordingly.
Got you.
Or,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And when people are willing, so going back to the investment, when people are willing to make it work, they will receive that without it being an issue. And so, really, I think they'll be glad. But thank God I don't have to respond yet because I'm not quite sure what to say.
Right to say. And like I said, a lot of times when something is said about us to us, it automatically is received as an offense.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
It's received as an offense. And so we come back defensive.
Yes, we do.
And I don't want it to be, and I said to him, I don't want this to be an argument.
Right.
I just want to speak this. I want you to receive it. Now, once you've received it, maybe next week, whatever, we can have a discussion about it. But I want it to be calm. I don't want this to be an argument.
That's
because arguments don't get me anywhere.
And everything disagreements don't have to be arguments.
Exactly.
We can disagree without arguing about what we're disagreeing about, right?
Exactly.
And so that's, again, if both people are willing to make it work, to receive, to make it work, to do whatever it takes, because we are entitled to feel how we feel. We are entitled to be hurt. We are entitled to be offended, even if that's not the intention of the other person.
Who can offend you and hurt you more than your spouse? Than that person you're in a relationship
Because that shows the depth of your love. When people don't matter, they can't offend you.
Girl,
right? When they don't matter, it's no, for me anyway, right? No offense.
You said at the beginning, that doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But when it's people we love, then the pain goes a little deeper.
Yes. And you know what? Sometimes it's not even really about offending. It's about the expectations that we feel that you should know me. You should understand me. You shouldn't have said that because had you known me, had you read me, you would have never said that. On the flip side of that, our spouse is really not looking at it like that.
Right.
You know how you said don't say anything until? He's saying in his mind, okay, I won't say nothing then. Okay, go on. I'll just let it bundle up. So next year, when you tell me don't say nothing, next year, I'm going to bring it up again. Because in some people, might not be your situation, but most instances is like that. So one of the things I think that work a lot for couples that, you know, I mean, I work with couples, so I know a lot of what happens is that I find that for me, if my husband will say to me the same thing, like you said, he'll start saying, oh, mom, so and so and so and so. And I just look, so when my eyebrows raised, I'm about to say, he said, he'll touch me. Calm down. Let me finish first.
Right. Right.
And then he'll finish. And he said, because I saw your face. I said, you know, I was ready to. I wouldn't even let you finish.
Right.
But so and that all goes with, that all goes with understanding and knowing your partner, knowing each other. And one of the things I want to speak about investment, people say this is a lot of rack. Oh my gosh. Well, investment, if you go and invest, you look for a return. When you invest in buying a home, when you invest in going to Dubai, or you invest in doing something nice, you invest in, you want to go in shopping. The intention is that when you shop, you're going to buy clothes that you like. So in your marriage and or relationship, when you're investing those things, you're looking for a greater return. So yes, it's going to take individual and couples work. And sometimes it starts with individuals first. I know I had to, when I came in my marriage 23 years ago, I met my husband 28 years ago, we started. But when I walked into that relationship, I was broken. I had walked away from a domestic abuse relationship,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so my mind was all over the place. I know what, and I was only 23. I was a hot, childish mess, right? So everything he did was guilty. Everything he did. And I know a lot of times I pushed him away. I can accept that.
In your 20s.
In my 20s.
Right.
So I
Yes.
say that to say, but we had to invest.
Yes.
So in order for us to be who we are today, I had to invest in me. I had to invest in the broken part
Right.
besides of me.
Right.
So
Yes.
that when we show up together
Yes.
with all the broken pieces, we can now put them on the table and
That's
say,
right.
now let's sort this out
Yes.
together.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
So we can talk some more about, because my question is going to be, what if you want to do all the work and he doesn't? But then we say, but I love him. Oh, but I, right? And
What are you loving?
What? Okay. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're watching Grown Folk Talk with Patrice. Be right back.